hump day. Good morning, G Bomb. Good morning, Linda. If you're jumping on, let me know what part of the world you're coming in from. I live on the East Coast of the United States. I'm about 40 or 50 minutes outside the city of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. TikTok sends out notifications, YouTube does not. And they do show me people that are coming on. YouTube does not show me that. So if you're on, if you don't comment, I don't know who's here. Good morning, Todd. Good morning, Michael. Good morning, Deborah. Deborah Levy. I have a friend, Deborah Levy Moja. I have a friend, her name's Deborah Levy, and she's coming back from Costa Rica today. Longtime friend of mine. Thank you, Michael, for liking the live. I really appreciate it. Good morning, Sexy. If anybody else wants to like the live, whether you're on my YouTube channel or you're on my TikTok account, I appreciate that. It helps my account. Good morning, John. I'm going to assume where you are in the world, it's the afternoon. It's where I'm at, it's about 10 a.m. Eastern time. I'm on the East Coast of the United States. I'm about 40 or 50 minutes outside the city of Philadelphia. Good morning, Donna. If you're jumping on, let me know what part of the world you're coming in from. Love to know why you're on social media. Good morning, Chuck. Good morning, Big Joe. Thank you again, Michael, for liking the live. I really appreciate it. Michael is a master live stream liker. Good morning, Donna. If you're coming on, let me know what part of the world you're coming in from. If you're on my YouTube live, if you don't say anything in the comments, I can't see you, so I can't shout you out. YouTube does not show me that. TikTok does show me who's coming on. I can see who's coming on. I can see who liked the live. Good morning, Sue. And TikTok actually does a badge thing that if you get to the top of the live, if somebody gives me a gift, they list them out who's the top one. Good morning, Stephanie. Good morning, Sue. Good morning, retired Powery. Good morning, Tony. If you're jumping on, let me know what part of the world you're coming in from. Thank you again, Michael. Michael is a master live stream liker. I just made up a title. That helps my accounts out. If anybody else wants to like the live stream, I'd really appreciate it. And again, if you're on my YouTube live stream, if you don't say anything, I can't see you, so I can't shout you out. Good morning, Cindy. TikTok does show me who's coming on. Good morning, Len. YouTube does not. They don't give me that information. I can only see the number of people who are on and then the time that I'm live streaming. So today I've been doing some trainings because I do believe most of you are now. TikTok automatically puts they have the mirror on, but it doesn't work because if I don't turn it off, then people can't see this. But I was going to go over the 3 stages of a buyer, and you may not know them. The first one is awareness. People become aware of you, become aware of what your product or service, whatever you're doing. And that's like the first stage. And I have said this on other lives. Typically, most people aren't going to buy on first touch. I do get some sales on first touch, but that's not typical. Most people have to see something at least a couple of times. And to give you an example, good morning, Sally. Good morning, Len. Good morning, Roger. Good morning, user 89734. They had to see something multiple times. And I do get some sales on first touch, but it's not typical. I did have somebody, to give you an example. She got on my email list last October 2024. I did talk to her a few times on TikTok in between that, but she finally bought something from me in July. So she was on my email list for 10 months before she did anything. And I've talked about that. You want to get whatever you're using social media for, you want to get people on your email list, because if you're just sending them to a page with information, you only have one opportunity to talk to them. Good morning, Sheila. Good morning, Tansan. Good morning, Don Tony. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. So awareness is the first thing. Second one is consideration. And that's where people are thinking about it, and that's where they're having to see it multiple times. Sometimes the average is 2 or 3, and sometimes it may take them as many as 12 times to see something before they make a buying decision. Good morning, Kimberly. Good morning, Goose Monster. Good morning, Admin. Good morning, NJR. Where are you coming in from? Good morning, Nick. Good morning, Eddie. So there are the stages: awareness, consideration, and then the third one is they buy. And people typically have to see something 2 to 3 times before they make a buying decision. Good morning, Lynette. Good morning, Lynn. Good morning, George. I do get some sales on first touch. Good morning, Patricia. That can happen. But most of the time, people have to see something multiple times before they make a buying decision. If anybody else wants to like the live, good morning, Sue. Good morning, Muriel. That helps my account out. Good morning, Rick. Good morning, Juicy. Good morning, Tammy. That helps my live out, whether you're on my YouTube channel or you're on my TikTok account. I appreciate that. But those are the 3 stages: awareness, consideration, and then people will buy. And if you're sending people to just a page, a website, maybe with just information, or a sales page or a replicated website, the issue with that is they only have one opportunity to see whatever it is you're doing, and then they're gone, and you don't have the opportunity to keep talking to them. Good morning, Big Red. Good morning, Sophie. And I did that for a year. When I got into this industry, I didn't know anybody. And I knew somehow people were making money on the internet. And I think it was God telling me. And I literally went to Google. I searched make money online. Good morning, GM. Good morning, Joy. Good morning, Celtic. Good morning, Tammy. And I was sending people traffic to a replicated website. I bought a website. I set up a bunch of pay-per-click ads. They sent me a 3-page PDF with some sites to use. I spent $3,000 on pay-per-click ads. I was sending traffic to a replicated website, and I didn't make any money. I did that for a year. Thank you, Michael, for liking it. Good morning, Viper. Good morning, Victor. Good morning, Vinny. And you don't want to do that. And I didn't have a mentor. And if I had a mentor would say to me, you're sending traffic to a replicated website. You never want to do that. You don't want to send traffic to a replicated website, or a sales page, or just a website with information. You want to send them to a capture page, a landing page, a squeeze page, a capture page. They're all the same thing, to get the person's email address. And get them on your email list, because you want to be building it. If you're doing this and you're using social media for anything, you want to get them on your email list. That's the only thing you own and control. I've had 10 TikTok accounts that I lost. Good morning, Narditas. Good morning, Clark. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. Good morning, Tammy. Thank you again, Michael, for liking the live. You want to get them on your email list so you can keep continuing to talk to them. Good morning, Joey. And if you're just sending them to a page, you're missing something. And when I started, I didn't have a mentor. I didn't have any training. Good morning, Jeannie. Good morning, Joyce. I didn't have a mentor. I didn't have training, and I didn't have a proven system. And now I send people to a website as a capture page. I get their email address. I get them on my email list, and then they're receiving emails from me automatically. That's where the automation comes in. And that's where you can get this working for you 24/7. So those emails are going out for me. It's working on my behalf, no matter what I'm doing, if I'm sleeping or I'm doing something else. And I did that for a year. I made that mistake. I was just sending them to a page. I wasn't getting their information. And once somebody's gone, they see your whatever it is once, and then they're gone. You can't keep communicating with them, because most people are not going to buy on first touch. I do get some sales on first touch, but that's not typical. Good morning, Laura. Good morning, Pinky. Good morning, Hornet. Good morning, Jennifer. So if you're jumping on, let me know what part of the world you're coming in from. So whatever you're using social media for, if you're not sending people, good morning, Charlene. If you're not sending people to something where you can capture their email address and get them on your email list so you can keep talking to them, you're missing a piece. Good morning, Barbie. Good morning, Eva. Good morning, Digital Liz. Good morning, is it Hornet? There's somebody else here I can't see. Good morning, Samuels. If you're jumping on, let me know what part of the world you're coming in from. Thank you again, Michael, for liking the live. I really appreciate it. If anybody else wants to like my live, that helps my account out, whether you're on my YouTube channel or my TikTok account. I am live streaming in 2 places. If you're on my YouTube channel and you don't comment, I can't see you, so I can't shout you out. So if you comment, I can shout you out. TikTok does show me who's coming on. Good morning, Freedom After 50. Good morning, FC. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. So those are the 3 stages of a buyer. It's awareness. They're seeing something you're doing that they're interested in. Then it's consideration. And most people have to see something at least 2 or 3 times, sometimes more than that, sometimes as many times as 12. And then the last one is that they buy. And not everybody's going to buy. Most people do not buy on first touch, whatever you're doing. Although you can get sales on first touch. I do get some, but that's not typical. People have to see something multiple times before they do something, before they make a buying decision. Good morning, David. If you think about your own buying habits, how many times do you see something? If there's something you're interested in doing, how many times do you have to look at it before you make a decision? So if you're jumping on, thank you again, Michael, for liking the live. If anybody else wants to like it, I appreciate that. That helps my accounts out. Good morning, Pablo. There's somebody else. You just have some symbols. I don't know what that means. Good morning, Riding Lifer. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. Good morning, Padge. You just got liked the live and you got a number 2 gift badger. Thank you. Thank you, Michael, for liking the live. Good morning is a Parisor. I'm probably not pronouncing that correctly. I apologize. So if you don't, and if you're on my YouTube live, if you don't comment, I can't see you, so I can't shout you out. TikTok does show me who's coming on, so I can see people's names and them coming on if they did something. Like Michael's just liked it, the live a bunch of times. Padgemore, you just liked it. Thank you so much. Thank you, Michael. If anybody else wants to like my live, that helps my account out. But I was just going over the 3 stages of a buyer. I'd love to know why you're on social media. Good morning, Apple user. Good morning, Blue Cheesecloth. Good morning, Zuby, or Ken. I'll call you Ken. That's better. I'm online because I do online marketing, making money from home, and I teach other people how to do the same thing. I've been doing this actually last month was my 14-year anniversary in this industry. I haven't worked a job in 9. Good morning, Joe. Good morning, Joan. Good morning, Angie. Good morning. I can't see that. Thank you, Michael, for liking the live. If anybody else wants to like it, I appreciate that. That helps my accounts out. Again, if you're on my YouTube channel, if you don't comment, I can't see you, so I can't shout you out. Good morning, JSK. If you're jumping on, let me know what part of the world you're coming in from. Good morning, Just Be. I'd love to know why you're on social media. Good morning, Jose. And another question I asked, a lot of people don't want to seem to answer, how much time a day do you spend on social media? Because when I'm on social media, good morning, Buddha, I'm getting paid for it. In fact, TikTok is paying me to do these live streams. Good morning, David. Good morning, Anton. When I'm on here, it is productive time, and a lot of people spend a lot of time scrolling on social media. There's a lot of information you can consume, and I do think that's somewhat addicting because you may say you're only going to get on for 10 or 15 minutes, and then the 10 or 15 minutes turns into a half an hour, and then an hour and 2 hours. Good morning, Sunil. Good morning, Mott number 1 system. What do people call you? If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. I'd love to know why you're on social media. How much time do you spend on social media? Because I had a guy on here the other day that told me he spends 6 hours a day on social media. I don't even spend that much time, and I have a business. That's why I'm on here. Why not get paid for it? That's an awful lot of time to spend scrolling on social media. I had another woman that got on. She said she spends way too much time on social media. If you're on social media, why not learn how to use it correctly, make money? You can turn your profile into an ATM. You can turn your phone into an ATM. So why not make it productive? Good morning, Brian. And there's a lot of people on here, and there's a lot of information on social media. You're just scrolling. I do believe most of you are on here because either you're looking for a way to make money from home, or you've been trying and you're not getting the result that you want. And I spent a whole year. Good morning, Brian. I spent a whole year when I knew somehow people were making money on the internet. And I think that was God telling me I lost my job. I couldn't find another one. I was broke, unemployed, in foreclosure. I was drowning in $250,000 of debt. And if I hadn't found this industry, I don't think I'd still have my house. This industry in digital marketing, for people who show up and take it seriously, can completely change your life. I mean, I've had days where I've made more money in a single day than I made in a month when I was still working a job. Good morning, Ola. If you're jumping on, let me know what part of the world you're coming in from. Good morning. Is it Quislam? If I'm not saying that correctly, I apologize. Where are you coming in from? I'd love to know why you're on social media. Today I was talking about 3 stages of buyer. 3 stages of a buyer. It's awareness, consideration, and then they buy. People do have to see something multiple times before they make a buying decision. Good morning, Ron. And I had somebody, to give you an example, she got on my email list a year ago, last October 2024. I did talk to her a few times on TikTok, and then she bought something from me in July. So she was on my email list for 10 months. You can use social media for free. There's over 5 billion people you can potentially get exposure to for free. and you want to send them to a capture page, get their email address. Preferably, you want to give them something away for free. Like I have a free PDF that I give out that's the 2-hour workday. It's a proven blueprint my mentors use to make $8 million. Good morning, Jose. Good morning, Charlotte. If you go to my website, payudaily.com, or if you're on my TikTok account, it's in my bio. You put your email address in, you'll get an email from me with a link that's got the free PDF that's yours to keep. You can download it and keep it. It's preferable if you're giving something away for people in exchange for them giving you their email list. Good morning, Charlotte. Good morning, JW. Good morning. All I can see is some little black spots in R. Is that what people call you? Looks like you have some little asterisks in your username. And on TikTok, if you don't put a username, if you don't put anything on a profile, if you're setting up an account on TikTok, they're just going to issue you a user number. Good morning, Michael. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. But people do have to see something. And I do get some sales on First Touch, but most of the time people have to see something multiple times before they make a buying decision. Good morning. Thank you, Michael, for liking the live. I really appreciate it. If anybody else wants to like the live, I'd appreciate it. If you're on my YouTube live stream, if you don't comment in the chat, I can't see you, so I can't shout you out. TikTok does show me who's coming on. YouTube does not. Good morning, Buddha. I don't know if you were, I think you were on before and you got off. TikTok does show me that because somebody, if you jump off the live and then you come back on, I get another message that you joined, and so I can tell when people jump off and jump on. And people do that, and they're not just jumping on my live stream; they're jumping on other people's. And most of me and my colleagues, we do live stream. I've been here every day. In fact, tomorrow is October 16th. It'll be 90 days. I've been live streaming. I've been here every day at 10 a.m. Eastern time for the last 3 months. I can plan on continuing to do this. I was here yesterday. I'm here today, and I'll be here tomorrow. Good morning, TJ or Ray. What do people call you? So if you have any questions, or there's something I can help you with, if you're trying to figure something out, I'd be glad to help you out. If I've done it, I'd be glad to do a training. I do think it's not ethical to train or teach on something you haven't done, but I probably can give you a resource. Good morning, Peg. If it's something I haven't done, I don't think it's ethical to train or teach on stuff you haven't done, but I'm pretty sure I can give you a resource. I've been doing this for a long time. I know a lot of people. I had somebody that jumped on my YouTube live. He wanted me to do a video about CPA marketing. I know what that is, but I've never done it. I've never really made money with it. I have an idea of how it works, but I was able to give him some resources because I really don't think it's ethical to train or teach on something you haven't done, and that I know what it is, but I haven't really made money with it. Haven't really gotten into it. But if you really want to learn something, what I'm doing, it's a high income skill. You can learn it in 2 weeks. If you want to learn something new, you are going to have to invest time and money into it. Good morning, Dee. I find that so funny that people think that you can do something and you don't have to learn something new, and you don't have to invest any time or money in learning it. Good morning, Ron. So if you're jumping on, what part of the world you're coming in from? I live on the East Coast of the United States. I get people from all over the world on these live streams on my TikTok, my social media accounts. I had somebody on here from Nigeria, somebody else from people from the UK, the Philippines, getting people from all over the world here. And it's 10:16 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and depending where you are, I think right now in the UK it's about 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. There's a company I do business with. They're in Singapore. They're 12 hours ahead of us, so it's 10:16 a.m. Eastern Standard Time where I'm at. So it's like 10:16 at night there in Singapore. Good morning, Packy. Good morning, Real ARP. What do people call you? And people have the tendency with these live streams, unless you're hosting one like I am, there's no accountability. I mean, you can jump on and off whenever you want. You can be laying on your couch and jump on somebody's live. You could be sitting on the toilet for all anybody knows. And you really don't have to do anything. You don't have to show your face. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to do anything. And people do have the tendency to jump on and off. They may jump on mine and then jump on somebody else's and somebody else's, because you could be laying on your couch with your phone and just jump on somebody's live. So if you're jumping on, if anybody's got any questions, drop in the comments. If you're trying to figure out something out, good morning, Wendy. Now, I had somebody who jumped on my YouTube live stream yesterday, right as I was getting off. Good morning, Pat, and had a ton of questions. Let's see if she gets back on today. Because I stayed long. I committed to doing these for an hour every day. And we were over an hour. Wendy, you just got a number 2 gift badger. Good morning, user 3238. What do people call you? And she probably won't come back, but she came on. It was like the last 5 minutes, and she had all these questions. Good morning, Evo. Thank you, Wendy, for liking the live. I really appreciate it. I did have one of my mentors tell me a long time ago. She said 99% of people will waste your time, and I have found that to be true. There's no barrier to entry into this industry. Anybody can start this. You do see, you do need some money if you're serious, you want to join something, or you want to hire somebody, that does cost money. Wendy's saying, why do I see the alphabet everywhere? I'm not sure what you mean. And I've been just not on my live, but I've been on other people's lives. I'm not sure what you mean. I don't know if you're seeing something that I'm not, but I mean, I can see people. What TikTok shows me is people coming on. Somebody likes the live, I can see it. If somebody gets a gift badge or somebody gives me a gift, I can see that. But I'm not sure what you mean. Everybody's got like a different, their name, and then some people have pictures, some people don't. I can see that on TikTok, but I don't see like any alphabet. Good morning, Purity. So I'm not really sure what you mean. And I've been on other people's live streams, and usually what it does when you jump on somebody's live first, it's just a line or two about, welcome. And I forget what all it says, but that brings that up to the person who jumped on so they can see it. And then that goes away after they're on. But yeah, I'm just seeing now somebody just jumped on, let's see. Zekbo, and I'm probably not pronouncing that correctly. Number 7, is that what people call you? I can see people coming on now. You've just liked the live a couple times. Michael is the number 1 gift badger today. He's liked the live a bunch of times. And then when somebody jumps on, I'll say their handle name, and then I'll say joined. And then if somebody, thank you, Michael. Michael just liked it. Again, there's hearts coming up the side when somebody likes it. If somebody, good morning, Alpha Eagle, what do people call you? Somebody sends me a gift, I can see that comes up pretty much in the middle of the screen. But when you're saying you see an alphabet, I have no idea what that is. Good morning, RDC, what do people call you? Good morning, Nancy. People have the tendency to jump on and off these live streams. Good morning, Sandy. They're just not jumping on mine, but they're jumping on other people's. And you can do that. That's one of the things. And you could be laying on your couch with your phone and jumping on somebody's live. Good morning, Finding Freedom 3, or Finding Freedom, where you're coming in from. So you can jump on and off these. You can jump on mine. You can jump on somebody else's. You can be laying on your couch. You could be sitting on the toilet for all anybody knows. And actually, I know somebody that she live streams like I did. And I was watching an interview of her yesterday, and she said she actually will go into the bathroom and be on the toilet while she's live streaming. Now, I can't do that because I'm live streaming in 2 places, and I don't think I'd want to do that, but I found that amusing. Good morning, Kate. Because if you're doing this just from your phone, from one device, I'm on multiple devices. I've got my phone on a thing that I bought to hold it. And then I'm on my YouTube channel on my MacBook Pro, which I've got that sitting on my desk. Good morning, Brian. Thank you, Michael, again for liking the live. Michael is a expert live stream liker. That's a better title. I like that title better, Michael. But if you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. Love to know why you're on social media. How much time a day do you spend on social media? And it seems like there's 2 questions. I don't get many people to answer them. I've gotten a few. And there's people that spend a lot of time on social media, as much as like 6 hours a day. Now I do this. I have a business, so I am on social media every day. Good morning, Cookie. I don't spend 6 hours a day. One of my hours I am on social media is when I'm doing this live stream. I spend time when I'm posting my content, because I post 3 videos on TikTok and 3 on Instagram. I do have software that answers the comments for me on Instagram. YouTube right now, TikTok, it's in beta. So if you live in the United States, with the whole thing of us not knowing if TikTok's going to be banned or not, I can't get access to that right now. Good morning, Leonard. Good morning, Susan. And I can automate. I try to automate just about everything. So you can, and I have a 2-hour workday blueprint we're all following. You can get this down to 2 hours a day. Good morning, Tyler. When you're new, it may take you longer because if you've never cut content before, and you're just learning, when you're learning anything, you're slower. And as you do it more, you get better, you get faster. And I know the first videos I did sucked. It's just kind of the way that it is. When you do your first videos, they'll suck. And I know a lot of people, thank you, Michael, for liking. I really appreciate it. Good morning, Bert. Most people, when you're doing something of a video for the first time, and I know a lot of people don't want to show their face on your first videos will suck. It's just kind of the way that it is. And as you do something, you get better at it, you get faster. So in the beginning, it might take you longer. And tomorrow I'll break down. We have a 2-hour workday. What exactly you do in that 2 hours? Mine's probably more like 3 because I do this live stream for an hour. I am on multiple platforms. If you're brand new, I do suggest you pick one, start a brand new account. Good morning, JDL66. And I say start a new account because if you have an account on any platform that you've used for scrolling, the algorithm doesn't know what you want because you're looking at all these things. You want to train the algorithm. So if you set up an account just specific for if you're doing something, whether you got a business, that there's somebody that comes on in these lives, she's got a nonprofit that supports women who've been victims of domestic violence. Good morning, Barb. She's trying to get exposure for that. You want to use that account for that one thing, because if you're on an account, you're looking at all these different videos of these different topics, searching different stuff, the algorithm doesn't know what to send you. So you have to train the algorithm. Good morning, Penn Hope. Where are you coming in from? So if you're not doing that, and I had somebody else on here that wasn't really getting the results that she wants, and she's trying to promote a couple of different things. You want to pick one thing. Good morning, Moni. You want to pick one thing, and then if you already have had an existing social media account on whatever platform, doesn't matter if it's TikTok or something else that you've used to scroll, you want to start a brand new account because you've been on that account looking at all these different things. The algorithm is not going to know what to send you. You have to train it, because you'll get all these. They'll start sending you all these other things. Good morning, sunshine. And you want to set your profile up correctly so people know what your account's about. There's a lot of people you want to learn. Good morning, sunshine. You want to learn how to use social media correctly because there's a lot of people, they aren't using it correctly. Good morning, Beth. Good morning, Mr. Mirans. If you're jumping on where you're coming in from, you want to learn how to use it correctly because there's a lot of people, all they're doing out there is they're spamming. If you're taking a link to anything, a video, a website, and you're commenting on someone's videos or their post, that's spam. If you're private messaging people, sending people a link to a video or a website, and you're just sending it to them, that is also spam. You don't want to do that. If anybody does that with me, I just block you. Good morning, user 2874. I don't have time for that. And some people have some thing in their head. Good morning, Sunny, that you think somebody's getting a lot of videos and you go spam your thing on that video that you're going to get all the exposure. You're not. And I've got quite a few videos. Good morning, TS. Good morning, Joel. I'll just block you and you're not going to get any exposure anyway. And I can see it because it's coming down my feed. So I just block people. And if you private message me and send me something like a link to a video or a website, I will block you. Good morning. Is it Tasmania? Is that what people call you? People don't set up their accounts. Good morning, Nicholas. Good morning, Jody. A lot of people don't set up their accounts correctly. And you want to optimize it. So when people do come to your account, they know what your account's about. And there's a lot of people, good morning, Dimitri, that are not. I see people setting, like somebody said, she set her account up. She used her first name. And then instead of using her real last name, she used the last name of the company that she was promoting. And you never want to do that. Good morning, Sunny. Good evening, Sunny. It's in the morning where I'm at. It's about 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm on the East Coast of the United States. Thanks for jumping on. You get people from the Philippines, Nigeria, South Africa, the United Kingdom, Australia. I mean, there's people that jump on these from all over the world. Good morning, Coach T. So you can get exposure internationally, and there's over 5 billion people using social media. For whatever you're using it for, you want to learn how to use it correctly. And I'm in a program that they teach you how to use it correctly and build your email list. Because, good morning, Kendra. If you're using social media and you're not building an email list, you're missing out because you don't own your social media accounts. You can lose them at any time. I had 10 TikTok accounts. One, I had over 200,000 followers. I had 3 Instagram accounts, which somebody hacked my main account. Went shopping, they ran ads, and after that, they deleted my account. I had 2 other Instagram accounts, which Instagram did not, they suspended both of them, and then they did not rule in my favor. So, and actually, I stayed off at TikTok for quite some time because I was so disgusted. And then last June, I started posting 3 videos on TikTok every day, and those same 3 videos on my Instagram account. I just recently hit 100,000 followers on TikTok. I got monetized. I'm close to 100,000 followers on Instagram. I would be monetized over there, but they discontinued their program. They used to pay people for views on your reels, and they stopped that. Good morning, Wendy. Good morning, JJ. Where are you coming in from? So you want to learn the correct way to use social media, but you want to get people on an email list because don't own or control your social media accounts. I even had a Facebook group. I had over 60,000 people, and Facebook deleted it. Good morning, Lone Ranger. Good morning, Nana. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. So you want to get people on your email list so you can keep talking to them. You own that. You control it. Good morning, Big B. And you do need, if you're building an email list, you need a tool called an autoresponder. Most of them you can start for free. Like the one I use, they give you up to 2,000 subscribers. But once you start and you want to be building that, good morning, Adri. You want to be building that because that's an asset. You may have heard the money's in the list. That's true. You own it. You control it. Kendra, you're from Kansas. Okay, well, welcome. Thanks for jumping on. You own it. You control it. It's an asset. Good morning, Stephanie. Your social media accounts are not. And yeah, you want to use social media. I'm not generated, and I've gotten tens of thousands of leads using social media for free. You can do, if you're doing whatever you're doing, you could do paid advertising, but you can end up spending a lot of money and not getting the result that you want. So thank you, Michael, for liking the live. I really appreciate it. If anybody else, if you want to put down where you're coming in from, why you're on social media, most people don't want to seem to answer that. How much time a day do you spend on social media? And a lot of you, had a guy that said he spends 6 hours a day. That's a lot of time. When I'm on social media, I'm getting paid. In fact, TikTok pays me for these live streams. So my time is productive. Good morning, Wanda. If you're just scrolling, good morning, Eddie. And I do think it can be addicting. You say you're only going to get on for 15, 30 minutes, and then that turns into an hour and then 2 hours. Good morning, Sarah. And then longer, and that one guy, he did, and he was being honest. He admits, he says he spends 6 hours a day on social media. Why not get paid for it? Because my time, and I probably spend maybe at the most 3 hours. I do these live streams, and I'm on here for an hour. That's an hour of my day. But I'm not spending, 6 hours or more. Good morning, Jose. There's a lot of people, and you're just scrolling on social media. If you are on my YouTube live, if you don't say anything in the comments, I can't see you, so I can't shout you out. YouTube does not show me that. TikTok does, because I thank you, Kendra, for liking the live. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Michael, thank you so much. I can see the hearts coming up. Kendra, thank you for reposting. Good morning, Emperor. What do people call you? And people they're not setting up their social media accounts correctly because it really doesn't matter. Good morning, boss. It doesn't really matter what you're using social media for. If you're using it, you want to use it correctly because you're probably not going to get the results that you want. Good morning. Is it Suklu? If I'm not pronouncing that correctly, I apologize. But there's people that you can reach people all over the world, which is really cool. Some of them, good morning, Luna, I met them first on social media. And then some people I've actually, when I've gone to a live event, met them. COVID really kind of put a wrench in the whole live event thing. And now a lot of them, they're offering them virtual, because for a lot of people, I know the first event I ever went to, I spent $3,000. I had no income at that time. I had lost my job. And I actually put all that on a credit card, which I don't like to do that. Credit card debt is the worst kind of debt. I couldn't find a job and I ended up finding myself, I was broke, unemployed, in foreclosure. I was drowning in $250,000 of debt. I couldn't find a job. I had no idea what I was going to do. I went to search on the internet, make money online. I found this industry. I found digital marketing, and I do believe I probably wouldn't still have my house if it wasn't for this industry. Can change your life. People who show up, if you're coachable, you're consistent. Good morning, Anna. I've had days in this industry where I've made more money in a single day than I made in a whole month when I was working a job. And the job I had that I lost, and that was 14 years ago in August, I had a 2 to 3 hour day commute. I don't miss that. I don't miss spending that kind of time, because you're spending like 40 hours a week at a job. And I didn't hate my job, but I didn't like it. And then I'm spending 2 to 3 hours commuting. I mean, there was one day we got a little bit of snow here. I left at 4 o'clock and I didn't get home till after 7 o'clock. It took me over 3 hours to get home. Good morning, Bertie. Good morning, Bass. Is that what people call you? Good morning, Mary. Thank you, Kendra. Thank you, Michael, for liking the live. I really appreciate it. If anybody else wants to like it, the live, I'd appreciate that. That helps my account out. If you want to like the live stream on YouTube, I can't see that, but and I also can't, if you don't comment, I can't see you if you're on my YouTube live. And I see there's over 10 people now on here, so you're not commenting, or you just, and what people do on these live streams is they jump on my live stream and then they jump off and then they go to somebody else's. So people have the tendency to do that on these live streams. Good morning, Patricia. Good morning, Flo. And that's fine. But I mean, I committed to doing these every day, and I've been here, and actually tomorrow it'll be 90 days. It'll be 3 months I've been doing these. If you have a question about something, or there's something I can help you with, I did do this in the beginning. I was going over the 3 stages of a buyer. It's awareness, consideration, and then they buy. Most people are not going to buy something on first touch. They have to see something multiple times. Good morning, Denise. Good morning, Chooch, or I'm not saying that correctly. Denise, good morning, Denise. Thank you, Kendra, for liking the live. Michael, thank you for liking the live. Most people have to see something multiple times. I do get some sales on first touch. If you think about your own buying habits, how many times do you look at something before you make a buying decision? Yeah, and I don't tolerate negative comments. So this guy jumped on my YouTube thing and decided to comment and made a negative comment. So I blocked him. I put too much work into these. So if you make a negative comment or you're spamming it, you're gone. And this guy is being a smart ass. So, and if you're on my YouTube live and you don't comment, I can't shout you out. So yeah, he's gone. So if you do want to comment and it's negative, I'm going to block you. You spam anything, whether it's a live stream like this or one of my videos, I will block you. If you private message me and you're spamming me something like a link to something or a video, I will block you. You want to learn how to use social media correctly, and I can help you with that. I mean, I have a program that teaches you how to use it correctly, how to build an email list. I don't know if there's a lot of people on social media, you're not using it correctly. People don't have their profile set up. And I was sharing about that one woman I know. She set up a social media account. She used her first name, but instead of using her real last name, she used the name of the company she was promoting, which you never want to do that. People join people, not companies. You never want to set up a social media account under a company's name, and even if you're promoting that company's products or services. A couple of days ago, I did some training on different business models. There are different business models. Good morning, Angel. There's affiliate marketing. There's high ticket affiliate marketing. There's network marketing. There's people that have their own products and services. A lot of people do coaching. Hi, is it Boers? I'm not pronouncing that correctly. I apologize. Good morning, Timber. So if you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. You want to learn the correct way to use social media. Otherwise, you're probably not going to get the results that you want. And there's a lot of people that they're not using it correctly. Yeah, people join people, it's true. And once you get to know, like, and trust somebody, good morning, Joe. That's why if you're sending people, and I did this the first year I did this, I didn't have a mentor, I didn't have any training, I didn't know any better. I was just sending traffic to a replicated website and I wasn't getting anybody's information. You want to get their email address. You preferably want to give something away for free. Like I have a free PDF. It's not that hard. Good morning, Kim. Good morning, Joe. Good morning, Sunny. It's not that hard to make a PDF or an ebook. And if you don't feel you can do it yourself, there's a site called Fiverr, Fiverr.com. They do like $5 to $10 gigs. They do things very inexpensively. You could pay somebody to make, a free PDF, an ebook. You could give away free webinar training. If you're promoting someone else's stuff, you could ask them if they've got something for free you could give away, because you want to give something away for free in exchange for somebody's email address. Good morning, Charles. Good morning, Concello. And if I'm not pronouncing that correctly, I apologize. You want to give something away for free in exchange for their email address. It's not that hard to give something away. And I'm giving away a blueprint that I'm using, and the PDF is a free PDF. It's yours to keep. It outlines the PDF. You want to give some free value out. These live streams I'm doing, it's free value. Good morning, Happy Hippie. Is that what people call you? Good morning, Ada. Good morning, GR8 Full Heart. Thank you, Kendra, for liking the live. I really appreciate it. Good morning, Holly. Where are you coming in from? I'm on the East Coast of the United States. I get people on my social media accounts from all over the world, not just this live stream. And there's people from the Philippines, Nigeria, South Africa, the UK, Canada, Australia. Actually, I have a customer, she's from Sweden. So there's people coming not just to my live stream from all over the world, but my social media accounts. And you can reach on social media over 5 billion people. And you can do that for free. So if you're trying to get exposure for something, thank you again, Kendra, for liking it. Thank you, Michael, for liking the live. Good morning, Lisa. You can get exposure to over 5 billion people for free. And you need whatever you're doing, you need some way to get exposure and get people to see it. And social media is a great way to do that. Good morning, Jane. Plus you can meet people from all over the world, people that speak different languages. And actually the program I'm involved with, we're just getting ready to launch the program, and it's been in English, but in Spanish. Because there's a lot of people that speak Spanish. I took 4 years of Spanish between high school and college, and I probably think I can still count to 3. Good morning, Don. I don't think I couldn't hold a conversation because I don't know it that well. Good morning, Dorcel. Good morning. Thank you, Kendra and Michael, for liking the live. I really appreciate it. That helps my account. If anybody else, whether you're on my YouTube channel or my TikTok account, if you are on my YouTube live and you don't put something in the comments, the chat, I can't see you. Good morning, May. YouTube does not show me that. They just show me the number of people that are on, and the amount of time I've been live streaming. So if you don't comment, I can't shout you out. I don't know who's on. If you do like it, I can see the likes after I end the stream, but I can't see them now. YouTube just doesn't give you that information. TikTok does. Well, it shows me now Michael just liked it 3 or 4 times. I can see that, but I can't see, YouTube does not show you that. If you comment on, now if you do put something in the chat on YouTube, I can see that. And if you comment on the live on TikTok, I can see that as well, but I can't see who's on unless you comment if you're on my YouTube live. The platforms are all different. I've been on YouTube for a long time, been on YouTube since 2013. TikTok wasn't even around, neither were short videos. But I am live streaming in 2 places. Good morning, John. Good morning, Tin Hollow. What do people call you? And I can't see that on YouTube, but I've got audiences in both. Good morning, Mary. And YouTube, I started there, and short video wasn't even, when I got on YouTube in 2013, short video didn't even exist. YouTube's gotten into that, but I still yearly view YouTube as a long form video tutorial. And what's cool about this live stream is I have software. It's letting me live stream in 2 places. Good morning, Mary. Good morning, Estavia. Good morning, Sammy. Good morning, Mom. Is that what people call you? Your kids call you that. I can this software is letting me live stream in 2 places at once. And the cool thing about it, when I end this live stream, the the software will automatically upload the whole recording to my YouTube channel, becomes a piece of content for me. Good morning, Cupcake Slayer. What do people call you? And because of the software and the technology we have, you can do that. Good morning, Luita. So that's cool. TikTok saves them for like 30 days, but it looks like they're like in recordings of like 10 minutes here, 5 minutes here. And YouTube, it's the whole thing is recorded. If I want to break it up, there is a way to do that, but it automatically uploads for me. I don't have to do anything once I end this live stream. So if you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. I'd love to know why you're on social media. Nobody's answered that today. The other question nobody's answered is, how much time a day do you spend on social media? I had a guy the other day that said he spends 6 hours a day on social media. That's a lot. That's a lot of time. Good morning, Tearless. And if he's spending 6 hours a day, he's not getting paid for it, because when I'm on social media, I'm getting paid. Good morning. Is it Rob? Your handle says Twilight Fox, Rob Locks. Is it Rob? Is that what people call you? And people set up their accounts differently. I mean, I've branded myself because of what I'm doing. So my social media accounts are in my name. Thank you, Michael, for liking the live. I really appreciate it. Mom says, I work so much for free. I'd love to change that. Well, you can change that. If you want to get my free PDF, outlines a blueprint. I'm using a 2-hour workday. Go to payudaily.com. That's my website. You are on my TikTok account. If you come up here all the way to the top of the TikTok account, you have to go off this live. In the bio there, my website's there, payudaily.com. Thank you for the heart. You can put your email address in. And then it'll take you over, watch 2 videos, read the page, so you get all the information you need. You'll get an email from me with the link for the PDF. You can download that and keep it. That's yours to keep. But that's the blueprint, the 2-hour blueprint. If you've got any questions after that, you can respond back to my email. You're saying you go by Twilight. Okay, Twilight, thanks for jumping on. You're from the U.S. What part of the U.S. do you live in? I live on the East Coast of the United States. Yeah, well, I've been doing this for 14 years. I don't know everything. I know a lot of things, but I've been doing this for a long time. Actually, September was my 14-year anniversary in this industry. I got into this after I lost my job, which was 14 years ago in August. So good morning. Thank you. Good morning, user 11316. This industry can change your life. I couldn't find a job. I needed to find a way to replace the income from that job. I've had days in this industry where I've made more money in a single day than I made in a whole month when I still work in a job. And for me, that's been life-changing. I'm not the only one. Anybody that takes this seriously and you're coachable and you're consistent, it is a high-income skill. You can learn it in 2 weeks. It will take you longer to master that, because to get good at anything, you need to do it every day. When I say every day, 7 days a week. A lot of people I talk to that are trying this, they're not getting the results that they want because they're not consistent. This isn't a full-time job that you're working like Monday through Friday. Good morning, Shane. This is not a job. So you do work 7 days a week, but you can get this down to 2 hours a day. Mine is a little longer than that, because one of my hours I'm spending, and I've committed to now to do these live streams every day. I'm here for an hour. Live streaming. Mom says, I have a couple degrees, years of experience, and I'm an entrepreneur. Well, great. I had entrepreneur in me since a little kid, but I was never encouraged to pursue that. And after I lost my job, I knew I was going to end up trying to do something else. The only job I could find was $12.50 an hour in a call center, which that was way less. That wasn't even half of what I was making. And I ended up doing that for a while. And then I lost that job. They laid just about everybody off. But this is when my colleagues were entrepreneurs. This is a business. You make your own hours. You decide what you want to do. And there's plenty of people in this industry who are doing this for different reasons. But it's a high income skill that you can learn in 2 weeks. But to master anything, to get really good at something, you have to do it every day. If you start doing this every day, you can get really good at it. You can make a lot of money. Good morning, Lynette. You can impact people. And really what this is about, I mean, I did start this because I needed to make money, but you can also get time freedom, but it's about impacting people, because so many people are hurting right now. I mean, the price of food, and somebody who's like a single mom and she's trying to put food on the table for like 2 kids, it's really hard. I know every time I went to the grocery store yesterday, every time I go, it seems like I could buy the exact same thing and it's more money. So you're in a rut. Okay. Well, and consistency is key. Yeah, a lot of people can get in a rut and you decide you want to do something else. I was forced in that situation because I lost my job. I couldn't get another one. What I did was very specialized anyway, so there weren't a lot of jobs, and I didn't think because that I ended up having to change careers at that point in my life. Yeah, great groceries are really, somebody who's and like a single mom that's got like 2 kids. I mean, every time I go in there, I usually do food shopping once a week. I went yesterday. And yesterday was probably like the biggest bill. If I go pull out, look at what I spent. Um, yeah, it's real. I mean, it's a lot. There's people working 2 jobs because they can't make ends meet. I've done that too. It's exhausting to work 2 jobs. We had somebody in our community. We have over 56,000 people. She was working 2 jobs. She's a single mom. She was exhausted. She never had any time to spend with her kids or anything else. One of them was a waitress job, which I can imagine that's exhausting. I've never done that kind of work. But she now has left both those jobs. She's making more money doing digital marketing. She's got time to spend with her kids. She's got time for herself. Good morning, Tanja. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. So this industry can do that. We have plenty of other people in our community that have quit their jobs too. I mean, I didn't have a choice because when I started this, I didn't have a job, and I don't recommend anybody quitting your job until you're making the same amount of money that you were at the job. You're 48, looking into waiting tables again, even with degrees, because it's so hard. And I think I've never done that kind of work. And we had somebody, her name's Amy, in our group doing that was one of the jobs. I think that's hard work. Um, yeah, and if you like that kind of thing, and for me personally, I could never go back to a job. When I was working the job that I lost, I mean, it was a 2 to 3 hour commute. I was up at 4:30 every day, spending 2 to 3 hours commuting, and I don't even think that I could do that now. And I don't want to, and I don't need to. But I make my own hours. I basically decide what I want to do, how much I want to do, how much money I want to make. I don't have to report to anyone. If I need time off, I don't have to ask. The autonomy is great. Yeah, commuting is so hard. Good morning, Nikki. And gas was more. I mean, I was filling my car with gas at least 2 to 3 times a week. That's one thing that's gone down because the last time I filled my car with gas, it's less than it's been. Thank you for the heart, Nuki. I really appreciate it. TikTok just told me that you just sent a heart and you got the number 3 gift badger. Good morning, Nuki. Thanks for jumping on. Kendra, thanks for liking the live. Michael, I don't know if you're still here, but thank you. Michael is like an ambassador, an expert at liking expert lives because he's done it so long. Good morning, Michelle. And you just got something else. You got a good popular one, a gift badger. Good morning, Debbie. And TikTok does show you that. Thank you for sharing the live. Thank you for liking it, Nuki. I really appreciate it. If anybody else wants to like the live, that helps my account out. If you're on my YouTube live, I can't see that you liked it. Thank you for the ring and the hearts. I really appreciate it. That's hand hearts, Mom. Thank you so much. I can't see that. So if you don't comment in the chat and you're on my YouTube live, I can't see you. I can't shout you out. YouTube does not show me that. TikTok does. So, and the only thing YouTube shows me is the number of people who are on and the time that I've been live streaming. I can't see any of that. So good morning, Runjing. If you want me to shout you out, you got to comment. A couple people here did shout out, like Twilight. I don't know if Twilight's still on or not. But there was somebody else that left, and I don't tolerate negative comments. I don't tolerate spam on this live stream or any of my content. Or if you private message me and you're sending me links to something, I will block you. That's spam. If you're using social media, you don't want to spam people. And there's a lot of people doing that. And I think some of them, because they don't realize that, Good morning, David. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. So if anybody has any questions, I was talking about earlier, and I'll just put this up here again, the 3 steps of a buyer, because most people are not going to buy on first touch. It's awareness, consideration, and then they buy. That's why if you're using social media and you're sending people to just a page with information, a website, a sales page, a replicated website, you only have one opportunity to talk to them. You want to get them on your email list, and you don't own your social media accounts. You can lose them at any time. You want to send them to a capture page, a website where you get their email address. Preferably, you want to give them something away for free. Like I have a free PDF. If you go to my website, payudaily.com, put your email address in, you'll get an email from me with a link in the email with the free PDF. That's yours to keep. You can download and save it. You preferably want to be giving something away. It could be a PDF like that. It could be an ebook. It could be a free webinar training. If you don't have anything, it's not that hard to make a PDF or an ebook. Or if you're promoting someone else's stuff, you could ask them if they have something you could use, because you're giving some people away something for free in exchange for their email list. You want to build your email list. That's the only thing you own. And you do need a tool called an autoresponder that you can, most of them you can start for free. Like the one I use, it gives you up to 2,000 subscribers for free. But after, and you want to build a list, you want to get more people on your, keep getting more people on your list. And after you get past that threshold, that does cost, it's a cost of doing business, but your email list is an asset. Your social media accounts are not, you don't own them, you don't control them. Good morning, David. You can lose the, good morning, Daniel. You can lose them at any time. That's why you just don't want to be sending people to a page. And yeah, you can build an audience on social media, and you should, and you can use it for free, but you want to get people on your email list. And in fact, I had a Facebook group. I had over 60,000 people in it. Facebook deleted it. You can lose it in a second. My main Instagram account, somebody hacked it. They went shopping with my cards. They ran ads, and then they deleted my account. I had 2 other accounts. Instagram suspended those, and then they did not rule in my favor. So I had to start all over again. And like last June, I stayed off of TikTok for quite some time because I was so disgusted. Last June, I started posting 3 videos on my TikTok account, and I started posting 3 videos on my Instagram account. I'm over 100,000 followers on TikTok. I got monetized. I'm close to 100,000 followers on Instagram. I'd be monetized over there, but they discontinued their program. And TikTok is actually paying me to do these live streams, which is cool. So you want to build an email list. And if you're not doing that, good morning, Samuel. Yeah, it is. Well, I mean, it's a part of, it is part of this. And I've learned enough. I've been doing this long enough. You do want to get people on your email list. And use social media. My mentors use social media for free. She hasn't spent a dime on ads and has made like $8 million in the last 3 years. So good morning, Victoria. You can do paid advertising. Good morning, Tony. Good morning, Cindy. You can do paid advertising. But if you don't know what you're doing, you can invest a lot of money and not get a good return on your money. And Facebook ads, they work. There's a lot of moving parts with a Facebook ad. And if you don't know them, you're probably not going to set your ad up and you're not correctly, and you're probably not going to get the results you want out of it. In fact, I know somebody, I think he charges like $2,000 to $3,000 an hour if you wanted help with Facebook ads. Good morning, Leslie. I know a lot of people that have had their ad accounts shut down. So with that, and like Facebook ads, solo ads, pay-per-click ads, they all work, but they are a skill you have to master. Good morning, Olivia. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. So you can use social media for free, and you're getting exposure to like over 5 billion people, and you can do it for free. I've generated tens of thousands of leads. So good morning, Mr. Lister. Now, I did commit to doing these for an hour, and the hour's almost up. Good morning, Maxine. If you have a question, drop in the comments. If there's something you're trying to figure out, good morning, Carla. I'd be glad to do a training on one of these. Not today, because we're at the end, almost at the end of the hour. I could do it for another day. If it's something I've done, I'd be glad to do it. If I haven't done it, I can probably give you a resource, because I don't think it's ethical to train or teach on something you haven't done. But I've been doing this for a long time. I know a lot of people. I can probably give you a resource, because if you're trying to figure something out and you want to learn from someone who's already done it, and you do need to invest time and money if you're trying to learn something that's new, I mean, I've personally spent over $100,000 since I started doing this, and I've made all of that back and more. So you want to get around somebody who's done what you wanted to do. Success leaves clues, um, and learn from somebody who's already done it. And I spent a year. I could save you time and maybe some money because I spent $3,000 in pay-per-click ads, just sending traffic to a replicated website. I didn't have a mentor. I didn't have a training. I didn't have a proven system, and I didn't make any money after a year. Nuki, thank you for liking the live. I appreciate that. So if nobody has any questions, I'm going to end this now. I will be back again tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern time. I appreciate you coming on.